Yes, family, you don't know it is again, Tonight we have a mad one going on. You understand me? I say, Angie Stephen has shown all the corruption running in Jamaica. You understand me? Corruption are going deep. We are going straight into it. More to listen to this one, man. Listen to that one.
Jamaica, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Gonna be a
now is the time when we go into the hardcore discussion.
Yes, sir. Mental.
Tonight we have with us two noted attorneys at law. King's Counsel, Valrenita Robertson, a noted luminary, Mr. U. Wildman. Tonight we're going to be discussing an issue that is rather pressing in the legal fraternity. Should Paula Llewellyn continue as the Director of Public Prosecution? Tonight I will only be the facilitator of a discussion. I would want to hear the arguments being purported by Mr. Wildman and Mrs. Nita Robertson.
Comment, we talk.
Welcome to the studio. Welcome, Miss Nita. Mr. Wildman, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you very much.
Mr. Wildman.
My family, listen, man. Because the corruption go deep, The way them deal with things at Jamaica, and I go see the inside out. If you understand what I say, I go see how them deal with things behind the screen, behind Fury High. You understand what I say? So we can't see what's going on there. We are going to hear first on tonight. You understand what I say? Look at this, man. You Williams. Hey, yo, you are going to hear that.
Good night.
Night.
We're not seeing you, Mr. Wildman. You're doing something.
You not see me?
Too. No, not seeing you at all.
You see me?
Turn the camera somewhat a bit more down.
Put your camera, fix it.
Yes. That
right. Big brother.
And can you turn both of you, can you turn the camera horizontal?
No, I can't change that.
Oh, you can't change it. All right, for now, let us work with how you are. Welcome. Okay. Happy Ash Wednesday to you both.
Thank you very much. Same thing to you.
Did you enjoy your holiday?
Very restful, yes.
I didn't get any. I'm still working.
Still working. Still working. Still working. So, Mr. Wildman.
Yes.
Let's get into the meat of the matter.
Listen.
Yes.
Listen.
You have a client who has made a submission.
Yes.
Seeking to place an injunction to the extension of the Director of Public Prosecution time in office. Can you explain to the public tonight? Why is your client and you as a noted attorney not willing to give Ms. Llewellyn a bid to continue her time in office?
Okay, let me put everything in context there. In terms of my client, he's serving a sentence at the General Penitentiary, but that matter is on appeal. His conviction and sentence appeal. And we think he has an excellent chance, because if there's ever a man who has been convicted of murder in Jamaica who is innocent, that man, I can tell you from what I know and the evidence. So we think...
So how women at the penitentiary, guys? You are hearing me, I say? You hear what me saying? How come he's in jail? He's an innocent man. Innocent man. You can't... The Jamaica system is just corruption, blessed. Listen to it.
He has an excellent chance of being freed on appeal. I think the state did everything to get him convicted, because if...
The state... Andrew, Holness. You hear me say? That's the meaning of the state. Andrew, Holness. Do everything to get the man off of the road. Why? Money, listen.
He successfully filed a suit in the Constitutional Court to challenge the delay in his trial, and he succeeded, and damages to be assessed for millions of dollars. So I think they want him to be in behind bars rather than to come out and have the fruit of that judgment.
Oh.
And so we think that the state has a vested interest in having this man behind bars. But he is in good spirit. I know he's innocent because at the trial, he was deprived of certain privileges. I don't think he got a fair trial. And 2 critical witnesses who could assist him, one died and one didn't show up. He was on a farm in Clarendon when this incident occurred, and that gentleman vouched for that, but he just didn't show up for the trial. So,
bang, radam, look on that now. You see, an innocent man can go to jail. The man wasn't nowhere near the crime scene, family. And there was somebody there could vouch for that. The next one that was there, die. Or him dead. That's the next one. The state, or him dead.
We know that this man is an innocent man, and it is just a matter of time when we think that the appeal. The transcript took a long time to be ready. And in fact, I did this matter on legal aid, not paid, legal aid. And everything I did for him came out of my pocket. Because I said an innocent Jamaican, yes, an innocent Jamaican being taken advantage of. So I'm still there for him. The transcript, we just heard from the registry. It's about $40,000 to retrieve it, and I will be paying it for him because we have to get the appeal going. So I know that this man.
So it's based on his innocence why you took his case to get it sorted out.
It was an assignment from the legal aid, and I think that God ordained me to assist this man based on what transpired thereafter. Everything I've been doing to assist him, like a father. So I know that he's innocent, and I'm very confident in the appeal process. But apart from that, when the matter of Miss Llewellyn's extension came about, I heard it like so many other attorneys would have heard that she got an extension, a second extension. And
so there was a first extension?
Yes. And that took place in 2020, July 2020. And I sought to get information about this second extension. And it is while I was checking this out, I called the Printry to find out if there's any gazetted second extension of Ms. Llewellyn's extension. And while I was, the gentleman who was in charge of that section did a search and came back to me and said, Mr. Wildman, there's no gazette here of any appointment.
Criminal. Bloody criminal Llewellyn. I tell you, I see them. Boy.
So you're saying that when you went to do a search in the gazette, there was no record showing?
No, that's correct. And in fact, the gentleman, on more than one occasion, I checked with the gazette printer.
How many times did you make a search with the gentleman, Mr.?
At least 2 times.
There was nothing.
Even while I was preparing the suit.
Corruption. You understand what I say? This is corruption at its deepest, family. Deepest. Why, Andre?
He confirmed to me that there was nothing.
So when you prepared the lawsuit, there was no documentary, gazette, or evidence to purport that it was gazetted by Mala who fought?
That is correct. And in fact, let me make this point. It was while I was doing that search for that second extension, I discovered that the first one was not gazetted too.
Repeat that, Mr. What you just saying?
While I was doing this search to ascertain whether the second extension was gazetted.
You see, Nita, look at Nita, there's a smile, the woman you know a lot, you know. This woman knows a lot, man. This woman knows a lot. Just watch. The
gentleman, I asked him to check about the first extension, and he said there's nothing. So I was alarmed. When I heard that, I said, well, this is serious. So I immediately called the office of the Governor General to find out if they have any evidence of the gazetting of Ms. Llewellyn's extension. And we kept calling, and eventually they answered, and I think they were a bit embarrassed because all they said to me is that put our request in writing by way of an email, which we did immediately. And they said they'll get back to us. And up to now, they haven't got back to us. So we were there checking.
So from the top, family, this is coming from the top. You hear me? I say, this is coming from the top. The top shelf. You have to play a fool for catch wise sometime. You know, listen carefully what them are saying, man. Listen carefully, you know. Don't get yourself caught up in this Jamaican system.
The office has not sent back any inquiries to your inquiry about the gathering.
None whatsoever, none. So we concluded that there was none because the GG's office should have evidence of it, and the Printry, which is the repository of all gazette in Jamaica, had no evidence of it. So I said, well, left with this state of affair, the only thing to do now is to go to the court to say that the first extension is illegal, because if it is not gazetted, then it's a nullity. So that's exactly what we did, and sought an injunction to restrain Ms. Llewellyn from continuing in the office. So that is the genesis of this debate and this lawsuit in the country. Now, let me explain to you that the Constitution is clear. Section 96(1) and Section 96(1)(b) of the Constitution are the relevant sections here. Section 96(1) makes it abundantly clear that you must vacate office on reaching 60 years old as DPP. You must. That is subject to an exception, which is Section 96(1)(b), which says that if before you reach 60, and you're seeking an extension and the government agrees, then before you reach that cutoff point at 60, they may grant you an extension up to 65. Up to 65. But it must be done before you reach 60. If once you reach 60, then you can't get an extension. And you can't get an extension after 60. So you can only get one extension under the Constitution. Now, I think the drafters of the Constitution were smart when they did that. You know the reason for that?
Why?
They want to ensure that if you're a DPP and you're reaching retirement age and you want to get an extension, they don't want you to be beholden to the executive, where the executive can say, okay, we'll give you a one year extension, and see if you're obedient to the executive.
The executive meaning the government.
That is correct. So if the government wants to control the DPP, they can say, you know, I'm giving the DPP 1 year extension, and if he or she not behaving, we're not giving them anymore.
That is it. That is it, family. That's how them use the control them people. Now for them now, everybody know, but once the government put in our place there, you want the extra 4 years, don't you? So you gotta do whatever Mr. Corruption Holness say. They do. Allow me to tell, and I mean I say it, see, they're not live in your face, you know. Listen with me and say, watch more.
You understand? So that's why the framers of the Constitution were clear that you can only grant one extension, and it has to be a one-off. You can't roll it over. You can't. So they were trying to preserve the independence of the office of the DPP. That's what they were trying to do. When they
For it not to be manipulated by the executive, by extension, the government.
That is correct.
And there are talks in the street, Mr. Wildman, an attorney, Valinita, that possibly the director of public prosecution is being manipulated by the present government.
Well, I hear the talk. Yes. So that is the point. It's to prevent any such manipulation. Why the framers of the Constitution, in their wisdom, decided to make it that way, so that you can't manipulate the office of DP by giving them like a one year extension.
Family, this is big. This is really big, you know. This is a big story tonight. You understand what I say? First, I want to jump in the middle of this and say thank you to everybody that's been supporting the Cookie Nation. You understand what I say? Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the likes. You understand me? I really appreciate it still, you understand? But the day I see me, man, more and more we're going to give, you know. Bless up everybody. Thank you. More with that one.
It must be one extension, and you can't do it after 60. You must do it before you reach 60. No.
You are hell bent on the number 60.
Yes.
In your research in the Gazette, are you therefore implying that before Paula reached 60, it wasn't gazetted?
That is correct.
Oh.
That is correct. Let me explain to you what happened.
Therefore, our extension is illegal and null and void.
Let me explain.
Let me make Miss Valerie Nita. Miss Nita, can you give us your perspective?
Yes.
Well, there's a little more confusion because there was a gazette for August 2020.
That's correct.
That states that the appointment was given to Miss Llewellyn.
Yes.
But when you read it, it says the appointment is given to her on the 24th of September 2020. That
the 21st,
means
the 21st,
it was
21st.
given to her 21st. It was given to her on her birthday.
That's correct.
So she would have become 60 on the 21st of September 2020.
Yes.
What they should have done was to give it to her before
Before or whenever,
her birthday.
but not on the day. That is still
because that's what the Constitution said.
Exactly.
So the Constitution, so this government did not go in accordance with the Constitution.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
And whoever did it seems to have been inexperienced.
Whosoever did it, Mr. Andrew Holness, whosoever did it, bro God, whosoever did it, crime boss himself. Let's keep going.
Yes.
And did not seem to have taken the time to get the proper advice from someone who had the legal background.
Yes. That's correct. So you see,
so presently what you're saying constitutionally, the DPP is null and void.
That is correct. That is correct.
I would go along with that reasoning, definitely.
For the past 3 years now, she'll be in that post illegally.
What?
Yes.
Yes, somebody didn't do their homework properly.
That is correct.
But wouldn't this come under the auspices of Marlene Malahoo Ford?
That is correct. That is correct.
Oh.
So I think she has a lot. She has a lot to answer for that.
He would have been Attorney General at the time.
At the time, yes, that's correct.
I think.
So obviously this woman that's in power now is indebted to crime boss. She's indebted, man. Boy. This thing is going deeper and deeper, man. This is mad tonight.
So you want no. This needs to sink in now, councils. Are you really saying that we have an illegal director of public prosecution directing the office of the DPP from 2020 to present, and no member of the executive, the Attorney General, the Minister of Constitutional Reform, the Minister of Justice don't see this unconstitutionality?
That is the reality of the situation now.
Bro, God.
From 2020.
But what is more concerning? What is more?
It sounds shocking, but it's true.
What you're saying is, Nita,
I'm saying what is more concerning is that we are in a period when nobody takes these issues seriously. They're not serious about these issues.
Yes.
We have rules, we have regulations, we have laws, and we are all bound to obey them. And nobody seems to be taking this issue seriously. It is just sliding under the mat. And remember, the office of the DP.
Listen, man. Yo, bro, God, you need to come down after the steel. You need to come down. No, not follow the laws. We're not following the laws. We're not make the constitutional. Listen, man. You are.
DPP is an office that whose reputation and respect must be maintained in the interest of justice.
Yes.
But nobody seems to be
Shocking.
paying any notice as to what is happening here.
Yes. It's a serious thing. It's a very serious thing.
So, Mr. Wildman,
yes,
the Director of Public Prosecution is saying in a recent article,
yes,
her reason seeking an extension is on the merit or on the basis that there is work in the office of the DPP's office that needs to be continued. Continuity is her argument.
Let me respond
I want
to
to ask, is that a solid ground and argument for the DPP to be asking for an extension? Because you have already 50-odd plus persons in the office of the DPP. Are you telling me that none of them are qualified to continue the mission as DPP?
It is a ridiculous argument. I can tell you that off the bat. It's a ridiculous argument. In fact, I mean, I worked in that office I was deputy DPP when I left and went to another jurisdiction to serve as DPP.
You were deputy DPP?
That's correct. That's correct.
You were a deputy DPP?
That's correct. So Miss Llewellyn and I and myself worked under Mr. Glenn Andrade as DPP. Both of us worked under Mr. Andrade as DPP. And I can say confidently that Miss Llewellyn doesn't bring to the table any special skill that makes her indispensable in the running of that office. That's point one.
Repeat that, Mr. Wildman. What did you just say about the DPP? You say confidently what?
That she does not bring any special skill to the office that makes her indispensable in that office.
So you're saying there's nothing magnanimous about her as DPP?
Right.
That is correct. And I'm also saying that there are several other persons there who I think could carry on the work of the DPP. And in addition, what you can do, Jamaica is 3 million people, advertise the post. Advertise the post and let people apply. There are so many people in this country would be probably prepared. Even people who are now on the bench as parish judges. Advertise the post. And I want to make this point. You cannot use that as an argument in violation of the Constitution. So the Constitution says you can't get a second appointment, an extension. Then no argument can be advanced to justify Ms. Llewellyn remaining in office. Absolutely nothing. Because the Constitution is sacred. It is the supreme law of the land. And as Chief Justice Woodin said long ago...
But if I recall...
In that celebrated case...
I'm going to look a piece more, you know, God, it's mad, you know, they're a bit weird.
Trinidad and Tobago. Colin Moore, the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. He said the Constitution of Jamaica, of Trinidad, which is also the Constitution of Jamaica, is the supreme law. And any act of the state that violates the Constitution is pro tanto void. That is to say, it is void to the extent of its inconsistency with the Constitution. So you can't use the fact that Ms. Llewellyn would like to remain in office or the executive would like her to remain in office as a basis to give her a second extension.
Nah.
It is not on the cards. Absolutely not on the cards.
Illegal, man. Illegal.
Lady Nita.
If I remember correctly, when Mr. Pantry stepped down as DPP and Miss Llewellyn was appointed, Mr. Pantry had to leave the office and left work there that was not done. In fact, I believe the first matter Miss Llewellyn ruled on that Mr. Pantry had left on his desk was the current Spencer matter. She ruled that he should be charged. So it's not valid for this DPP to be saying that she has matters to complete.
Yes.
And Remember now, there are several persons in that department who have chosen this role.
Their career path.
This is their professional choice to be in that department and to aspire to the role of DPP. So when Miss Llewellyn continued, then the upward mobility of the department is stymied. And I don't believe that is fair to the other people who are there, some of whom are QCs. You can't tell me that you have a QC in your department and that person is not capable.
Yes.
And as Mr. Wyman says, you can advertise.
Yes.
But it's an insult. I believe it's an insult and it's disparaging